Hi guys, welcome to the 38th episode of the CaughtatPoint podcast. I have the able and smiling Dev Tyagi with me, the co-founder, the co-host of this podcast, and there's reason enough for him to smile. West Indies has beaten Australia after 27 long years, Dave. How does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, feels like eternity and feels like a great victory finally. It's not about settling a score as much as it was always about proving a point to the constant flurry of criticism that was coming their way. Let's not forget that last year in June, when the white ball cricket team failed to qualify for the World Cup 2023, people had written off the West completely, saying that, I mean, I saw people writing obituaries on West Indies cricket, and here they are. As you rightly said, 27 years it took them to beat Australia, and what a day! And of course, the Gabba again, and a similar victim, Josh Hazelwood, as luck would have it, and some new stars on the horizon. One of which includes the incredible Shamar Joseph.
So Dave, when we saw Shamar Joseph take the final wicket, there was a certain stalwart doing commentary at that time called as Mr. Brian Charles Lara, and he had some tears going down his cheeks. So how was that? I mean, how did you feel then?
So, Brian has always been a man of few words. He keeps his emotions to himself. That boyish voice is still very much there within the 54-year-old. But I think on that day, the boyish voice became one which was tear laden. And Brian was at his emotional best. And he said, "That's it, the West Indies have done it." And I would also remember the excellent commentary by Ian Smith. Um, he's been the crowning glory to so many of memorable cricket moments. But as Brian Lara himself put it, and he couldn't have put it any better, that written off, young, inexperienced, and here was a team of 11 taking on the mighty Australians, the on current note, the best cricket team out there in their own territory, beating them at a challenging
Would
pitch.
India beg to differ
Uh,
on that, Dave?
yeah,
Best
India can
cricket
differ
team.
as much as it wants to, but truth is that Australians won the World Test Championship. We didn't, but and that's what it is. A great moment for West Indies cricket, but I would also hope one of those moments which could start them on a juggernaut of sorts. It should not be like one of those flash in the pan moments, the likes of which we've seen so many times, Pranay, in the past. Like Sheho produces those double hundreds, by which I mean centuries in both innings 6 years back, and we think that West Indies cricket has turned the corner, but it hasn't. Then we see Jason Holder making a double hundred actually in a test match against England, and we feel that West Indies cricket has turned the corner. Then we see Roston Chase coming out and making splendid centuries in that famous series where Yunus Khan and Misbah have played their final test series. And we feel West Indies cricket has turned the corner, but nothing changes. And now we have Shamar Joseph with his incredible 13 wickets on the tour, seven wickets in that single inning. And not to forget Kevin Hodge with his brilliant and gritty 71. And now we are saying that West Indies cricket is perhaps turning a corner. So I really hope that this time the turnaround can be one for the real and one for the real reckoning.
So, Dave, as an admirer of West Indies cricket, as a very accomplished writer, did you give them a chance before the start of the series?
No, man, I didn't, to be honest. I thought that at most, if they really applied themselves, they would, eke out a draw. But to actually win a test match against Australia and Australia is a commendable achievement. And I also had my reasons for believing that they won't be able to win because, runs weren't coming from the top order. It's rather sad that somebody as talented, as so composed as Tejanai Chandrapal has not been able to hit a single 50 run score in past what now 15 innings, 13, 15 innings. And I think that says a lot about where their opening pair is. Even Craig Brathwaite, the otherwise resilient and very dogged batsman with north of 5,000 runs at the test level to his name, failed in each of the four innings he played. He wasn't able he wasn't even able to get a 40 odd score on this outing. And then to see this miraculous victory etched by the lower order. Let's not forget Joshua De Silva's brilliant 79 at the Gabba in the first innings, which actually laid the perfect foundation to that 149-run stand down the order. So yeah, I think many people who are Caribbean cricket devotees, they weren't they were not able to foresee such a turnaround. But to answer your question, no man, I didn't think that they would win a test match down under.
So, Dave, do you think that with West Indies now squaring the series, this tour down under actually merited another test match?
Absolutely. And the other day, I was having an interaction with the revered and the one and only Mr. Vernon Springer. And he said that time has come for the ICC, the venerable ICC, and the big three of cricket, by which all of us know Indian cricket, England cricket, and Australian Cricket Board, to really think and give it a good think and understand that why is it that an Afghanistan plays, for instance, a one-off test? Why is it that India goes to South Africa and plays two test matches in what eventually turns out to be Dean Elgar's final ever series? A player of his caliber we're not going to see again. Why is it that West Indies, a full-time ICC member, a two-time World Cup winner, a proper test playing team, even though not in the best of shape prior to this win, goes all the way to Australia, travels thousands of miles, and then plays just two test matches. So if we would have had, as you rightly suggest, Pranay, a third and final test match, we could have had a more realistic outcome to a series. In fact, truth be told, and to take nothing away from the fighting spirit, the commendable fighting spirit of the Aussies, Steve Smith was at the other end. He was stranded on a 90 odd inning. He would have wanted to go out there in the final test match and get some runs. Mitch Marsh, who wasn't able to make so many runs, would have wanted to go on an all out attack against the West Indies. Shamar Joseph himself would have targeted 20 wickets for the team's cause. We would have had Craig Brathwaite and Chandrapal finally eyeing some proper inning because runs hadn't come hitherto from their bats. We would have had Pat Cummins play his own part in the series. No, we would have had. There were so many iconic players, especially on Australia's side, and all the audiences see across two continents are just 10 days of cricketing action, which effectively speaking were about not even 10 days because the first Test match ended on the third day itself, inside 4 days. So that's kind of robbing of the audiences from the cricketing extravaganza that could have been but wasn't.
You know, Dave, speaking about Shamar Joseph, there was another guy who made his test debut not in the Australia West Indies series, but in the India England series called as Tom Hartley. And that guy
Yeah,
also got a 7-4 and
7-4.
spanned the English team to
Right.
a very famous win over the mighty Indians in India. So, can you give us
Right.
some pearls of wisdom on this guy?
I think, Pranay, what really happened a few days back in India caught me as a cricket fan by a lot of surprise. Uh, but that's what it is. That's the beauty of Test cricket. That's the beauty of a promising youngster making his debut whilst having all the attention resting, of course, and why not with the likes of Ben Stokes and Joe Root and saying that, okay, here I've been given a chance. I'm going to perform. I'm going to play my part. And two people shone brilliantly in that Test match for their team, England. Ollie Pope with his commanding 196. What an inning! You speak of daddy hundreds, and there you had right at the beginning, and one that didn't come from Stokes or Root's bat, but came from another average youngster. He's all of 26, I believe. And I think Pranit, quarter of a year back, he made a sparkling double hundred at Lords, even though it came against Ireland. But there are no lame pushovers at the Test level. They have a very well balanced bowling attack. The likes of Andy Walburney, played in that Test match, and Meg Bryan was one of the most potent, red ball options. So Ollie Pope proved a big point, as did Tom Hartley, and I think that somewhere India was just too caught up with the baseball approach, but here we found the grind ball approach, by which I mean that Pope really held on to an end. and he just seemed completely unaffected by wickets falling at the other end. But rather surprisingly, despite having a 190 plus run lead, India kind of scuttled. And I think so many things up Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma's alley to think about. Is the team, and I saw in the aftermath of the test match, so many writers writing about Virat Kohli once again. But then again, you have to play with what you have at the end of the day. Virat Kohli is not there. Unfortunately, in the series, he's not there. So you don't just, succumb to nostalgia or, okay, what the big what if. You play out as well as you can with the resources that you have at your disposal. So I think somewhere, and even in the, of course, Pranay, even in the pre-match coverage, there was just India and Bumrah, and it was almost as if none of the so-called commentators, whether you speak about the respected broadcasters, it's almost they just did not cover England. They did not go into the penetrating details about what England's game plan could have been. It was almost as if it's always going to be about India. Remember how the World Cup final was, the 2023 White Ball ODI World Cup. It was always about India. Understood, we were the hosts and all that, but you have to somewhere, just draw a lesson or two from the fact that your opponent too can become that behemoth, which you have been so consistently. And India played consistent cricket last year. But I think we just sometimes fail to appreciate and even take cognizance of our opponents. And I think this is what happened.
Do you think it's time to worship a pope, albeit of a different kind in cricket?
Uh, I don't think worshipping anything makes, yeah, worship Ram, of course, because if you don't, then you and I will be thrown out. And of course, we must shift our base to another religiously, correct part of the world. But no, I said that lighter vein. I don't think worshipping anyone is going to lead us anywhere, but definitely admiring skill and talent and the promise shown by the youth like Tom Hartley, who, by the way, is on his way to forge a splendid career. I hope his is a long one for Team England.
Yeah, it should be very heartily for Team England. In a
He's a
light.
Hartley development for Team England. Yeah.
But Dave, if we can spend a minute on Virat Kohli, I was very intrigued by this whole thing of some writers saying, what if he was there? So tomorrow when he retires and say
Yeah.
if India doesn't mount the peaks that everyone hopes them to mount, so will there still be this whole conversation that Virat Kohli should come out of retirement? What if he did? What if he was there in the team? India
I
would have
think
been better? Or would you think people would finally move on from the great man?
Virat Kohli is a legend. He's an icon, the likes of which we are never going to get again. But I think, truth be told, the Indian cricket fan was also talking about Virat Kohli when the Second World War was happening. Virat Kohli was being spoken about in 1939 to 1945, in 1914 to 1918. If the Indian cricket fan wished, they would have said that, yeah, the Allies actually won the war because Virat Kohli was on their side. That's the last thing that they haven't said. That the great German general Field Marshal Erwin Rommel died because Virat Kohli was his opponent. Patton did not do anything. Churchill did not do anything. And Montgomery didn't do anything. But Virat Kohli, it's because of Virat Kohli. Today,
So
if you
you
have
will.
electricity in your house, if I have food on my table, and my parents don't go hungry, it's because Virat Kohli is playing for Indian cricket. No, but jokes apart. So yeah, we love our idols, no Pranay. We love our cricketing mortals who we then transform into immortals. And Virat Kohli, for his statistical achievements, for all he's done for Team India, is an immortal. He's a legend. I mean, of a very, very high order. He commands a mantle held by very, very few around him. But truth is that this is an Indian cricket team without Virat Kohli. It's not going to be about him. It's going to be about what those 11 men have to do on the pitch. So let's get down and talk about the realistic points. You have a Shubman Gill who's not making runs. You have Rohit Sharma who's making runs here and there, but not that big 100. Okay. You have Shreyas Iyer who's finding it hard to, grind it out. The one batsman who was actually making runs consistently for you, Pranay, is KL Rahul. He's not in the team now because he's been out injured. So let us shift our focus to other elements whose surname is not Kohli, whose first name is not Virat. And I mean no disrespect to this giant achiever, and I mean no offense. Truth be told, he's a giant achiever. But what do you do? He's not in the squad. Let's focus on the pitfalls and how to correct them, and how to mount a strong comeback against the English team in the second test, which is a few hours away. That's where the drawing board should focus. That's where the gray cells should be devoted to. It can't be okay. And then there were these articles about Virat Kohli's great leadership in the past. That's all in the past. He's been an achiever. He's still achieving at his age, and his hunger for the game makes him second to none. Let's face facts. He's incredibly fit still, but he's not playing. He's not in the squad. So can we, for a change, please focus our attention on the likes of Sarfaraz Khan, who deservingly has earned a call up. The guy made 992 runs in the Ranji Trophy 21-22 season. If I remember correctly, he made north of 550 runs in the 2022-2023 season. He has been toiling hard for Maharashtra. He had a very fine IPL debut. Then after that, he struggled. Okay, that's fine. He was, he had a memorable knock against the Rajasthan Royals. He is a man who has age on his side, who has time on his side. Let us focus our attention there. Let us celebrate the lesser celebrated. Let us build a case for them. And let us please, for a change in the pre match and post match coverage, also give some focus on England. You know, I mean, they still have James Anderson at that age, 40 plus age, coming in, in that rip roaring fast action, high arm action, that rhythmic, beautiful action, just thriving out there, wanting to do something for his country. The game can't be about the Laras, Wars, Sachins, Virats alone. It is a collective effort, and I think it is a plea this year. The Indian fanboy really needs to wake up and smell the coffee. The game is not just about Virat Kohli. No matter how much we love him, and I respect him. I've written so many articles praising him, but it is about time that we shift our attention from the superstars to those who can be.
They're speaking about the lesser superstars. So there's a South African team that's in New Zealand, and that's bereft of stars, so to speak, because they're all playing the SA20. And I've just sent a piece to you which talks about what can you expect from the lesser stars of South African cricket. But they still have over 6,000 runs in terms of first class experience and over 1,500 wickets to give a tough fight to the stars of New Zealand cricket. So, as you
Yeah,
rightly said, cricket is the vagaries of cricket is not only restricted to the godlikes of Virat Kohli and others. It's also about the talent, about what you can do and achieve on a particular day. And a case in point example is Shamar Joseph, and
yeah.
which actually gives me a lot of
Example.
heart that a lesser known South African outfit can also spring a big surprise in New Zealand.
No, absolutely. And I'll just and very well pointed about Shamar Joseph here, Pranay. So Shamar Joseph, not surrounded by stars, the team rather bereft of match-winning experience, barring Craig Bradford's batting. Is has Kemar Roach not done enough for West Indies cricket? He has, 300 plus Test match wickets to his name. He's not treated like a star. Remember, it was West Indies cricket which brought back cricket from the dead during the peak COVID by touring England. It was Kemar Roach with his magnificent bowling spells, and at that time also Jason Holder being there. Holder is no small commodity in West Indies cricket, but they aren't stars. They aren't, and these guys didn't have stars. In the World Cup, they had Hartley,
They have lost you, you've frozen.
against India at Wankhede. So there were no stars. Aiden Markram today is a performer known for efficacy and timing. He's not a star. There's no AB de Villiers out there in South Africa. There's no Brian Lara anymore in the West Indies. The star bowlers Walsh and Ambrose, they've retired. सदियां बीत गई उनको retire हुए हुए यार. So cricket at the end of the day is the fate of the game is decided by the performances you put, and there will be times when you will not have your stars doing it. Rohit Sharma is such a big star in the game. What has his bat done for Team India in the last 4 5 Test matches? What did he do at Hyderabad? We're not taking Rohit Sharma's case, but I'm saying so-called stars. Jasprit Bumrah bowled too much perfection in the first inning, but who emerged with more wickets? The man often less celebrated. His name is Akshar Patel. His name is Ravindra Jadeja. So it'll not be about your star cricketers all the time. And really, so I'll also like to just bring in the journalist Ravish Kumar here. So he always talks about there being a Godi media in mainstream Indian politics and describing the domestic affairs of India. But there is a Godi media which exists in cricket also. The media which will come and sit on your lap and just basically just just put chocolate bars into your mouth and just celebrate you for all it cares. So really there has to be this sense of equanimity. We have to have a more egalitarian approach when we discuss cricket. I mean, we had a former Indian cricketer, I would not want to name him. I'm not trying to malign anybody. We don't do that on our podcast here. Me and Pranay, we don't do it. But yeah, we really call a spade a spade. That person, Pranay, said 5-0 in India's favor. And what happened? पांचवें दिन के पहले मैच खत्म हुआ ना यार. Somebody showed us the mirror. I mean, today, if you see in South Africa, the likes of Berger emerging, Kwesi emerging, they are no star bowlers. They have been given a contract and they are being loyal to their time efforts and they're trying to repay the faith that the selectors and the captain has put on their shoulders. So let me go out there, don the Proteas jersey with pride and do all I can. I'm not going to spur crowds here. I know that I'm not jaunty, I'm not AB. There's no Klusner out there. Even Klusner was no star. He was, in fact, a warning, a disclaimer to stars that, okay, I too exist. The likes of me like exist. I don't know if I'm making sense here, but that's what I really
Oh,
feel.
you are, because what I feel is that you're human first before you become a star.
Yeah,
So,
like Kane Williamson, if I could just ask you, do you think he conducts himself like a star? How many fan clubs, if he goes out there on the road on Auckland, does the traffic come to a halt? I mean, come on, yeah. Even as crowds, we need to just grow up. Like Indian cricket team, after 1 month, 1.5 months after the World Cup final was over, they were still being subjected to scrutiny. They're humans, yeah. What have we made them?
see my
A
point.
Virat Kohli did not put a gun on his fans' head that mujhe meri worship kar. We screwed Sachin's life. Billion plus hopes. No, man, he's a normal human being with one heart, one liver, one kidney, two kidneys, and just they're like a normal human being. We
It's
made the god out of him. Yeah,
the
we
fanboys
really
who
need to
make
grow
you
up.
stars, and it's the fanboys who bring you down. That's
Yeah,
the
they
unfortunate.
they said all things to Rahul Dravid. All things. I thought the last person who won't be trolled was Rahul Dravid. But Rahul Dravid was subjected to such debauchery on Twitter, for the lack of a better word. Sorry, X. Now Mr. Musk will fire me from wherever he is. So yeah, so this is what we have come to, that we can't appreciate the fact that Akshar Patel is doing his bit. We can't appreciate the fact that Sarfaraz is about to make his. Let's put more content out on them than just talk about stars. Virat, Rohit, ho gaya yaar. They know, they understand your love, they understand your affection. Please, cricket has to be more than just these three cricket boards and the demigods that it produces, where the demigods in the first place don't ask the fans to worship them.
Hmm. So, Dave,
Yeah.
what should one look forward to now in the T20 and the ODI series between Australia and the renaissance of the West Indies?
Hopefully, you know, हार जाओ तो हार जाओ, but बिना fight के मत हारो. So my only thing, being a West Indies fan and being slightly skewed towards the Caribbean cricketers, I would say just put on a good show, put on a good fight. But I'm very baffled by the fact that, unless I'm very much mistaken, the likes of Brandon King, he's not playing in the one day series. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I know Shea
Also,
Hope is
they're
the
not
captain, of course.
prioritizing the one days now because the World Cup has just happened.
Yeah, but it's like it's not an easy business to fortify your place in the annals of Caribbean cricket today, in the present day West Indies national cricket team. So when that opportunity comes to you, you go ahead there and you grab it. you played well. You just made your ODI, your maiden ODI century last year. I'm talking about Brandon King. You have a chance. You played well. You had some gritty knocks against South Africa in South Africa, where the West Indies did not lose, surprisingly. I'm talking about white ball series. So why has he not made himself available for the ODI leg of the series? I don't know. The ODIs begin tomorrow. So once again, who do we have here? We'll have Shea Hope, you know, having to bear the biggest chunk of run scoring responsibility, and I think rightly so. So another interesting challenge. For the first time, Shea Hope will be captaining a one-day team in Australia as its captain. The days of Puran are done with. Previously, Jason Holder tried his bit. So yeah, another excellent new opportunities for West Indian youngsters come to the party. Azari Joseph, I want to speak about him. I'm glad that despite the mushrooming culture of T20 and T10 leagues now also around the world, he's made himself available for West Indian duty. And I think the Caribbean cricket administration should really warmly appreciate that and should support him, should back him. And I always feel that there is a burning all rounder in Azari Joseph that they need to, like Marco Janssen, the bowling all rounder who makes those runs. I think he made a lot of runs in that partnership with Heinrich Klaassen at the Wankhede World Cup match against India. वो नहीं होता था तो वो रन अकेले क्लासन नहीं बना पाता था. So it's about that. So yeah, so I think they have some interesting contests lined up. I just hope that they aren't utterly one-sided and that the one-day team can draw some inspiration from the test team's victory.
Yeah. So we've almost hit time, but I would like you to come back home and tell me about what you think, how the test series is going to progress with.
I think that India will come back stronger. They really must. As an Indian cricket fan, if not a fanboy, I'm not. I really would hope Indian cricketers to put up a stellar show with the bat, something which didn't really happen all that much in the bygone test. And I think the series is still young. Yeah, it can go either way, and it's on its legs. And I think Rohit Sharma, time has come for him to lead by an example. We know the kind of damage that he can wreak, being the devastating hitman. Yeah, and I think definitely, Shubman Gill, Pranay would find himself under a lot of pressure, and so yeah, he's due for some runs. India must see it's the prince of batting, as he's called. Shubman Gill deliver some crucial runs for us. But I would also, as a fan, I'm very curious and I really admire one youngster I admire. Unfortunately, he's not part of the team. Is Ishan Kishan. I just don't know what's happened to him. It's a little unclear, and it's kind of a contentious subject now in the annals of Indian cricket at present as to what has become of Ishan Kishan. He grew tired and exhausted. He was suffering from fatigue, Pranay, of traveling with the team first to South Africa, and then then he went to of course, prior to South Africa. Then he went to the West Indies. He made some runs. He wasn't played in every single match. He wasn't played in every single match of the ODI World Cup. I don't even remember how many matches he played in the ODI World Cup. And then this promising youngster who really backs himself to go for the shots and has already scored a double hundred in ODI cricket. He's now nowhere in contention of being picked. So if Mr. Dravid, Mr. Sharma, and those who have the answers can come clean, I mean, he's a very promising young man, yeah. And at least he doesn't seem to be in that going in that direction of being a demigod sometimes. So I'm more attracted, I'm more encouraged to see those kind of cricketers. I'm attracted by their fates, their timelines. उनकी जिंदगी में क्या होगा? So yeah, but here's wishing India all the best for what should be a fine comeback. But take England lightly at your own peril is what I would say.
Speaking about the word encourage, we always encourage to have your pearls of wisdom coming our way on yet another episode of the Caughtat Point podcast with you throwing light on the
As
Australia
do I.
series,
Ditto here.
India England series, and hopefully for my case and for a lot of other South Africans back home, maybe South Africa can put up a contest against New Zealand, which will also be one to
That
look.
should be one hell of a contest. That should be
Again,
one
Dev,
hell of a contest.
that comes back to that it's only a two-match series, right? And if it's drawn at one apiece, one would seriously want a third test to see who would come out as a clear-cut winner. Maybe we can
Yeah,
ponder on the future of Test cricket as another episode, which will be pretty
yeah,
fun, I suppose so. So,
yeah.
guys,
And we
this
should,
was Dev
yeah,
Tyagi, Pranay
yeah, we
Rangra
should.
with yet another episode of the Caughtat Point podcast. Stay tuned. We'll come back with another episode. Share, like, subscribe, and just help us grow.
See you
Cheers.
guys. Thank you, Pranay, for being an excellent host. Thank you.
Thank you.